Have a big speech coming up, but anxiety and nerves are making you question your own capabilities? Well, if you're watching this, then you've come across beta blocker medications and learned that they're often used off-label to help people get a handle on their performance anxiety and stage fright. But you may be asking yourself, there's so many different beta blocker medications out there, which one will be the best at combating my anxiety and stage fright issues? Well, in this video, we're going to pit the different beta blocker medications up against each other and find out once and for all which works best to combat public speaking anxiety. The beta blocker contenders. Broadly speaking, most of the different beta blocker medications work in the same way, even if they serve slightly different functions for the user and have different levels of effectiveness. The 7 beta blockers I'm going to talk about and compare in this video are Propranolol, Metoprolol, Nebivolol, Bisoprolol, Carvedilol, Atenolol, and Acebutolol. All of these are pharmaceutical beta blocker drugs that doctors typically prescribe for cardiovascular or heart conditions like high blood pressure, angina, or chest pains, and irregular heart rhythm or arrhythmia. Beta blockers is actually short for beta adrenergic blocking agents, and the main function of beta blockers in the body is to, as the name states, block the release of adrenaline and other stress hormones into the brain and body. It's actually a massive surge of adrenaline that is responsible for most performance anxiety and stage fright symptoms in the first place. The adrenaline and stress hormones are released into our system as a physiological response to stress. There is a purpose for this, mainly placing our system into a primed state for action. Ironically, humans have the same stress response when in physical danger as we do when facing perceived psychological danger, meaning situations where we won't experience pain anywhere in our body, but we may face the pain of embarrassment, lowered social status, shame, or even, in an extreme case, banishment from our peer groups. So both physical danger and psychological danger lead to the same reaction within our bodies, a flood of adrenaline and stress hormones. It makes sense, then, that blocking the release of adrenaline using beta blockers would dull our anxieties and performance fears, leaving us to get up on stage or in front of any group with a clearer and calmer mind. So then the only question left to answer is which of these beta blockers will work most effectively for dealing with public speaking anxiety. And if you stay to the end, I'll tell you about one natural alternative to beta blockers that you might want to consider as well.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 1, Propranolol.
Fight.
First up, we have Propranolol. Now, if you've looked up beta blockers used for anxiety, this is probably the name you've come across the most. Propranolol is unique because it's a non-selective beta blocker, meaning it affects the entire body rather than targeting only specific areas like your heart or blood vessels. For performance anxiety, this broad approach is actually a big plus, as it helps prevent the physical symptoms like shaky hands, sweaty palms, and rapid heart rate more effectively than some other beta blockers that act more selectively. Propranolol has also been around longer than most beta blockers. It was developed way back in the 1960s by a scientist named Sir James Black, who later won a Nobel Prize for his work. Originally created to treat heart conditions, propranolol quickly became popular among musicians, actors, and public speakers, precisely because of how reliably it curbs those pesky physical signs of anxiety.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 2, Metoprolol.
Fight.
Next up, we have Metoprolol. Unlike propranolol, which we just talked about, Metoprolol is what's called a selective beta blocker. That means it primarily targets the beta receptors in your heart, making it great at controlling heart rate and blood pressure spikes that often happen when you're anxious. So if your public speaking anxiety mostly revolves around a pounding heart, or that sensation of your pulse racing out of control, Metoprolol might be your ideal choice. Metoprolol was first introduced in the 1970s and quickly became one of the most widely prescribed beta blockers worldwide. Originally developed to help manage high blood pressure and heart issues, its selective nature gives it a more targeted effect compared to propranolol. That means it might cause fewer side effects like fatigue or dizziness for some people, while still keeping those anxiety-induced heart flutters firmly under control.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 3, Nebivolol.
Fight.
Third on our list is Nebivolol. Like Metoprolol, Nebivolol is also a selective beta blocker, meaning it specifically targets beta receptors in your heart. But here's what makes Nebivolol unique. It not only reduces your heart rate and calms those jitters, it also has an additional benefit of relaxing your blood vessels, improving blood flow, and potentially helping you feel more physically relaxed and composed during your speech. Nebivolol is actually one of the newer beta blockers on the market, approved in the late 1990s, making it relatively modern compared to the first two we've covered. Originally developed as a treatment for hypertension, Nebivolol quickly gained attention because it tends to have fewer side effects like tiredness or brain fog. So, if you've found other beta blockers leave you feeling a bit sluggish, Nebivolol might be the choice worth considering.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 4, Bisoprolol.
Fight.
Next, we've got Bisoprolol, another selective beta blocker similar to Metoprolol and Nebivolol. What makes Bisoprolol stand out is its very long-lasting effect. It provides smooth, steady control of your heart rate and blood pressure throughout the day, making it a solid choice if you have multiple speaking engagements or presentations lined up in quick succession. Introduced in the mid-1980s, Bisoprolol was originally created to manage chronic heart conditions like high blood pressure and heart failure, but it's found a niche among performers and speakers who appreciate its steady, predictable calming effects without needing multiple doses throughout the day.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 5, Carvedilol.
Fight.
Next, we have Carvedilol, and what makes this one special is that it blocks both beta receptors, like the others we've mentioned, and alpha receptors, giving it an additional effect of relaxing blood vessels. This dual action can help lower blood pressure quickly and provide a more noticeable calming sensation, which might be useful if your anxiety is especially intense before public speaking. Carvedilol hit the market in the mid-1990s, initially developed to treat high blood pressure and heart failure. It's often chosen by speakers who find that traditional beta blockers aren't quite enough to keep their nerves fully under control.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 6, Atenolol.
Fight.
Our sixth contender is Atenolol, another selective beta blocker like Metoprolol and Bisoprolol. What makes Atenolol distinct is that it tends to have a longer half-life, meaning it lasts quite a bit longer in your system. This can be helpful if you're looking for sustained relief from anxiety symptoms, especially if you need to stay calm for an extended period, like an all-day conference or a long presentation. Atenolol was first introduced back in the late 1970s, originally designed to manage high blood pressure and certain heart conditions. Because of its steady, long-lasting effect, it's become popular among speakers and performers who prefer taking just one dose to comfortably get through their day without having to worry about topping up.
Choose your fighter.
Contender number 7, Acebutolol.
Fight.
Finally, we've reached Acebutolol, probably the least well-known beta blocker in this lineup. Acebutolol is selective like Atenolol and Metoprolol, but with one interesting twist. It has what's called intrinsic sympathomimetic activity, or ISA. That basically means it gently stimulates beta receptors even as it blocks them, leading to fewer side effects like slow heart rate or fatigue. This can be helpful if you've tried other beta blockers and found they make you feel overly sluggish or tired. Acebutolol was introduced in the late 1970s, primarily used to treat high blood pressure and irregular heartbeat. Despite these unique features, Acebutolol hasn't gained as much popularity among public speakers or performers, probably because other beta blockers, like Propranolol or Metoprolol, have dominated the spotlight thanks to their simplicity and proven effectiveness. So which beta blocker works best for public speaking anxiety? After going through all 7 contenders, here's the bottom line. For most people dealing with public speaking anxiety, Propranolol tends to be the clear favorite. Its non-selective nature means it tackles a wide range of anxiety symptoms, like trembling, rapid heartbeat, sweating, and shaky voice, all at once, making it especially effective right before a presentation or speech. However, if you're sensitive to fatigue or dizziness, or you only experience a racing heart during anxiety, then selective beta blockers like Metoprolol or Atenolol might be a better fit, since they tend to cause fewer side effects. Nebivolol and Bisoprolol offer smoother, long-lasting anxiety control, while Carvedilol's dual action can be beneficial if your anxiety includes elevated blood pressure. Acebutolol, though unique, is the least commonly used for performance anxiety, partly due to its mixed stimulant blocking effect. Just remember, beta blockers aren't for everyone. Side effects can range from mild tiredness, dizziness, and cold hands to more serious issues like low blood pressure or slow heart rate, especially if you have underlying health conditions. Always speak to a qualified medical professional before deciding on a beta blocker. Your health is important, and choosing medication isn't a decision to make lightly or without professional guidance.
Choose your fighter.
The alternative option, PerformZen.
Fight.
We have to mention PerformZen when talking about solutions for public speaking anxiety. PerformZen is an all-natural supplement that contains a mix of ingredients to support focus, calm, and cognition, all of which counteract performance anxiety and stage fright before any high-anxiety situation. PerformZen Calm Performance Formula contains ingredients like GABA, L-theanine, and magnesium, as well as the cognitive-enhancing ingredients ginkgo biloba, vitamin B6, and theacrine. These ingredients have all been shown to induce a calming effect on the body, as well as keeping the brain sharp and your thinking creative. Many of our happy previous customers thought so at least. To find out all about PerformZen, check out our website using the link in the description, or Google PerformZen, and we are the first result. If you liked this video, click that subscribe button and make sure you drop a like and comment below. We'd love to hear your experiences with the different beta blockers talked about here, so please share in the comments and let's hear if our conclusions are accurate or completely off. You can also check out one of these other videos from the channel. We have some great videos about all the different kinds of beta blockers, or several videos about dealing with anxiety struggles, phobias, and performing in general. And until next time, break a leg!